Christmas, the holidays are upon us, and today I'm making a delicious keto quiche that I believe you and your entire family would really love. And I'm going to show you how to make that coming right up. Stay tuned. Okay, the first steps to making this delicious keto quiche without a real crust is very simple. So what I've done already, I just fried up some bacon in a pan and I put it on a paper towel to dry. I've taken just a little bit of butter, put it in the bottom of my pie plate, and I spread it around and got it up onto the corners so it doesn't stick. And then what I've done is I've taken some grated Parmesan cheese and I've sprinkled it into the bottom of the plate. Let me see if I can get this into a position where you can see it better. I have my oven on at 400 degrees. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bacon, I'm going to crumble it up and put it into the pie plate. I've got some medium cheddar cheese here that I've shredded already. And I've got some Swiss cheese. So I've got some Swiss cheese and I've got some cheddar cheese, and I'm going to put those in the bottom of the pie plate as well. I'll show you that in just a minute, and then we'll be getting our eggs and our mixture together. Okay, so I've taken the Swiss cheese and I've taken the cheddar cheese, just a little bit. The premise here is to put this into the oven and have the cheese melt and the bacon melt into the cheese, and that's going to sort of form our crust, our keto crust, so to speak. Just take some of that bacon now, and I'll be crushing that up with some real clean hands. And you could use bacon bits, I guess, but I like to use real bacon. And I'm just going to be spreading that all throughout, and we'll be back and I'll show you that in just a minute. I've sprinkled the crumbled bacon into the pie plate, and that's with the cheeses and that little smear of butter on the bottom. I'm going to pop that in the oven. My oven is set for 400 degrees, and I'm going to keep an eye on that because it's only going to be a couple of minutes. It doesn't take a very long time. So we're going to watch that closely, and just until that cheese melts, and that will firm up a little bit, and that'll serve as our keto crust. I'm going to put in some onion and some red pepper, and I'm not sure what else. I'll have to think about that one. And there's our beautiful crust, quote unquote, and it's cheese and there's a little bacon. I put a little mushroom in there, some Parmesan cheese, some Swiss cheese, a little bit of cheddar, just a sprinkling of each because there's not much required, because you just want that thin layer of cooked cheese on the bottom, and then we'll make our egg mixture and pour that over the top. Now I've got oil in the pan, bacon grease, and I don't need all this. I'm not going to be using it anymore. So I've given this tip in a separate video, but I'm going to just share it again here. I'm going to take this grease, and what we're going to do is we're going to pour it. I've lined a bowl with some tin foil, and we're going to pour that right into the tin foil. That will then harden, and I can throw that whole thing, that whole little package there, away. And we don't have to worry about any grease going down the drain, clogging things up. So this is just a quick little tip, and it's a real easy way to dispose of grease. So in the same pan that I had the grease, I just added just a little tab of butter, not much, because I want it to be pretty dry for the most part. I'm going to fry up some onion, and I just cut the onion like that, thinly sliced, like that. And then I have some finely diced red pepper. Then I'm going to slice some mushroom and add that at the end. As you can see, the mushroom has been added. And I'll just stir that up a bit. And here's the thing, if your pan gets a little too dry, just add a little bit of butter or even just a few little drops of water to steam it through a little bit. We don't want that overcooked, but we don't want it undercooked. So it's kind of right in the middle. We're going to kind of keep an eye on it, see where we want to go, and then we're going to put that aside while we get our egg mixture all prepared. And we'll add this to the egg mixture once the mushroom is browned sufficiently. And as you can see, the onions are sort of caramelizing already. I think I might add just a little tab of butter. Not much. It's just like that much on the knife. What I don't want to do is make it all buttery. So we'll just add a little bit to get all that fond, that delicious fond from the bacon off the pan. So that'll be all that flavor will be in our quiche. So it needs to cook just another few seconds, not very long, and then we'll get our eggs tested and get those ready to go. Last minute decision. I've cut up some deli ham, and I'm going to add that to the pan and mix that in, and then I'll be setting that whole mixture aside while we do our eggs. So this happens in the kitchen, and you can put into your quiche whatever you like. I'm using mushroom, onion, and red pepper along with a little bit of ham, but I've used broccoli before. I've used bacon. You just mix it up, whatever you feel like. But today, I'm going to add a little bit of ham. So I've got a nice large bowl that I'm going to be using to mix our egg mixture. I have my Sunbeam Mixmaster that I received for a wedding gift back in 1970, what was it, 73. So it still works like a champion. I have to say, I would highly recommend it. They don't make them like they used to. And I've got 9 eggs. They're medium sized and they all check out, no floaters. And so they are wet just because I had them in water. And that doesn't matter because we're going to crack them and we're going to put all those eggs into the bowl. And I put a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese in there, maybe a tablespoon. I've got my cheddar cheese and my baby Swiss cheese standing by. It's all shredded, so all I have to do is add half a cup of each into the egg mixture. And then I'm also going to be adding the onion, the red pepper, and the ham. And I'm going to get out the heavy cream, and we'll be adding that to the mixture once the eggs are beaten slightly. And something you want to keep in mind, the size of your pie plate, because I'm not really going by a recipe card, is that you don't want to use so many eggs that your mixture becomes too much. And I used medium size, so I used 9. If I had large eggs, I would probably only do 8. And that's with this size of a pan. So it's a little bit larger than a regular pie plate. Something to keep in mind. I found some half and half, and I was looking at the sugar content on the half and half, and it's very low. It's just 1 gram, 1 carb. So I'm going to use the half and half instead of the heavy cream. I may do a little of both. We'll see. I'll just see how the egg mixture is once I start to beat it a little bit. We got 9 eggs. We're going to add a half a cup of each cheese. Then we'll be adding our mixture. So we're going to keep beating these till they're nice and frothy. And that little bit of Parmesan, grated Parmesan cheese that we put on the bottom. Okay, I've started with a half a cup of the heavy cream. Now I'm just going to add some of that half and half right to the same container. And I'm going to fill that to 1.5 cups. So we'll start with that and see if we need more liquid, but I don't think so. I'm going to add just a tad touch of mustard, and then we're ready to add that mixture, pop it in the oven, and it's almost done. Okay, we've got our mixed eggs there. I've added a Swiss cheese, I've added a cheddar cheese. That's all in there. You can see, nice and frothy. Looks like a good amount of the half and half in the cream. And now we're just going to add in all of that goodness, all of the ham, the onion, the mushroom, and just stir that in well. And we'll be pouring that into our pie plate, putting that in the oven. I've got the oven set at 400 degrees, and we're going to bake that about 40 minutes. We'll check on it and see when we can insert a knife cleanly. We're almost there. This is the tricky part. I put an old cookie sheet on the lower level, and that's going to catch anything if it comes over the top of the pie plate. Now I'm going to take my pie plate and I'm going to set it in the oven, and then I'm going to take the mixture and pour it while it's in the oven. I know I'm losing a little bit of the oven heat, but it's just the way it is right now. It's a lot easier to do it here than having to carry that over to the oven and try to put it in. So I need 2 hands. I'm going to do that, and we'll be back in just a second. As you can see, I've poured that all into the pie plate, and wow, was my guess work good or what? Those 9 eggs were perfect. I couldn't have probably used any more than that. So I just mixed that around a little bit with a spatula and then get that mixture distributed. We're gonna let that bake until it's nice and brown, and we'll be back to check on it in a little bit. Okay, quick update. I've turned the oven down to 350. I have a glass pie plate, and I don't want it to cook too fast on the outside. I want it to cook more evenly through the entire quiche. So I've turned it down, and we'll leave it at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. We'll check it at 30 minutes just to see how it's coming along. Well, it's getting there. A little bit longer, we'll be done. Okay, let's take a look. Put a knife in, comes out clean. See that? I don't know if you can see that in the light. The oven's kind of dark, but there's nothing sticking to it. What that is in the middle, it's cheese. So it's ready to come out, and it'll sink a little bit, but oh, I can't wait to have a piece. Well, there's our beautiful quiche. That is fit for a holiday, any special occasion, or just everyday eating. It looks delicious. 2 thumbs up. I hope that you'll make this for your family or yourself real soon. Thanks for stopping by Keto in the Kitchen with Pat. I do hope that you'll use this recipe. If you've gotten some value out of this video, I do hope that you will share it with others, because you never know who else is looking for a really delicious, crustless Keto Quiche. I hope to see you all again real soon. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.